Good morning, dear listener. The sun rises softly, painting gold on the window glass. You stretch, slow and gentle, feeling that familiar stiffness whisper in your back. Another day begins, and your body reminds you of time's quiet footprints. You smile a little tired, a little grateful. There was a time when mornings meant motion, walking, dancing, living easily. Now, every move feels like a small conversation with your body. Can we still do this? It asks. Yes, you whisper, but slower. Today's story is about that gentle yes. A simple bend, a humble motion that connects knee to toe, breath to spine. It's not about youth or strength. It's about grace, rhythm, and remembering what it means to move. Some call it exercise, but maybe it's more like poetry written by your muscles, spoken by your bones. So find your breath. Feel your feet grounded on the floor. And as we begin, let your body listen. Because today, we move not to fight age, but to befriend it. This is your moment, slow, alive, and beautifully yours. Linda wakes up as the first light touches her curtains. The house is quiet, only the soft hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. She sits up slowly, her back stiff like a door that hasn't opened in years. Her knees murmur a complaint, gentle but persistent. She breathes out, looks at the small plant by her bedside, and smiles faintly. It's grown taller since last week, reaching for the sun without hesitation. Linda used to move like that, free, fluid, unthinking. Now each movement feels like a question she must answer carefully. She swings her legs off the bed, feeling the floor cold under her feet. Her cat Willow stretches beside her, effortless and graceful. Wish I could move like you, Linda whispers. The cat blinks slowly, unconcerned, as if saying, You still can. She chuckles, stands, and walks toward the kitchen. Every step feels a bit heavy, but not impossible. The kettle hums, and soon the room fills with the scent of morning tea. She leans on the counter, feeling the tightness along her spine. That old friend, stiffness, always waiting for her at sunrise. But something in her feels different today. Maybe it's the plant, or maybe it's the thought that she can still grow too. She remembers a conversation with her friend Henry last week. He had started a simple stretching routine, something called knee-to-toe bends. He swore it changed the way he moved, the way he felt his body. No gym, he said, just a quiet moment with myself in the floor. Linda laughed then, thinking it sounded too easy to matter. But the memory lingers now, like a gentle invitation. She sets her cup down and stands still, her mind curious. Could a small motion really make that much difference? She glances at the clock, plenty of time before her morning walk. So she decides to try just once, without expecting much. Feet apart, knees soft, arms relaxed. She bends a little, cautious, feeling her breath guide her. The floor feels far away, but her body answers kindly. There's a stretch behind her legs, a whisper in her back. Not pain, not struggle, just awareness. Her breath deepens, her shoulders loosen. She rises again, slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Something shifts, quiet but real. The stiffness isn't gone, but it feels like it's listening to her now. She tries again, slower this time, matching breath to motion. Down and up. She smiles without realizing it. Her heart feels light, like a window opening. This is not about reaching her toes. It's about meeting herself halfway. The morning light grows brighter, soft against her face. Willow curls near her feet, tail flicking lazily. Linda laughs softly, a sound full of ease and surprise. It's been years since she felt this simple joy in moving. And as she stands there breathing, she knows one thing for sure. Flexibility doesn't fade, it just waits for us to return. Sometimes, all it takes is one small bend to remember how to begin again. The next morning, Linda wakes with a quiet sense of curiosity. Her back still feels a little tight, but there's a softness under the surface. She remembers the small bend she tried yesterday. It wasn't perfect, but it felt like a door had opened somewhere inside her. She sits by the window with her tea and watches the sun spread across her garden. The flowers move gently in the breeze, bending without breaking. Maybe that's how I should move too, she whispers. Her mind drifts back to Henry's words about the science of simple motion. He once said, "Our bodies are like old trees, Linda. They need movement to stay alive." At the time, she smiled politely, but now those words feel true. The body, she realizes, is a living story written through every stretch and breath. She finishes her tea, stands, and places her hands on her lower back. The warmth of her palms feels grounding. Her knees bend slightly as she lets her shoulders drop. She breathes out, slow and steady, remembering how natural it felt yesterday. Today she wants to understand why it matters, not just how it feels. Henry had mentioned how knee-to-toe bends help the spine and hamstrings work together. How the gentle bend allows the back muscles to lengthen safely. How the knees protect the lower spine from strain. It's a small chain of cooperation, he said, from the toes to the top of the head. Linda loves that image, every part connected, every part helping. She tries to picture her spine like a flexible river. Each breath moves through it, clearing stiffness, carrying light. She bends forward again carefully. Her fingertips hover above her toes, just a breath apart. The stretch behind her legs feels alive, warm, a quiet pulse of renewal. She holds there for a moment, breathing into the sensation. Then she rises slowly, feeling her back unfold like silk. It feels both gentle and powerful, like a secret rediscovered. She repeats it 3 times, letting each movement teach her something new. With every bend, she feels the space between her vertebrae widen slightly. She imagines tiny currents of energy flowing upward with each inhale. She realizes this is not about touching the floor at all. It's about listening to her own rhythm, her own range. Her breath, her balance, her patience, all working together quietly. Linda smiles. She remembers how often she used to rush through movement. Yoga classes where she compared herself to others. Walks where she focused more on distance than presence. But this is different. It's not performance, it's partnership. Her body isn't something to push, it's something to understand. She straightens up and places a hand on her heart. Her breath is calm, deep, kind. The stiffness has softened, replaced by warmth. Outside, the morning sun rests gently on her shoulders. In that light, she feels connected, spine, knees, toes, and breath. She thinks to herself, the science of movement is really just the art of being alive. And for the first time in years, she feels like her body believes her. The rain taps softly on Linda's window the next morning. The air feels cool and calm, filled with the scent of wet earth. She wraps herself in a warm sweater and stands barefoot on the carpet. The world outside seems to whisper, slow down, listen, breathe. Today she decides to truly learn the rhythm of the knee-to-toe bend. Not just the motion, but the meaning behind it. She remembers Henry's voice describing it step by step. Begin with kindness, he said. Your body is wiser than you think. She smiles, closes her eyes, and takes a long, slow breath. Her feet settle into the floor, solid, grounded, alive. Her shoulders relax, her arms resting loosely at her sides. Then a gentle inhale. She lets her knees soften, unlocking the tension they quietly hold. Her back begins to curve forward, but not in a rush. It's more like a bow, an offering of patience. Her hands slide down the front of her thighs, passing the knees. She pauses when her body says, enough for now. She stays there half bent, breathing softly through her nose. The stretch behind her legs is steady, not sharp. It feels like an honest conversation between muscle and breath. She exhales slowly, releasing the weight of the night. Then she rises again, not pulling but unfolding. Each vertebra stacks with care, one on top of the next. At the top, she rolls her shoulders back and lets her chest open. It feels like sunrise inside her body. She repeats it again: down, hold, breathe, rise. The rhythm becomes familiar, almost musical. She counts her breath instead of seconds. 4 in, 4 out, like gentle waves. Each bend carries her a little closer to stillness. Her body begins to remember what ease feels like. The stiffness fades, replaced by warmth that spreads upward. She notices her balance improving, her mind quieting. It's as if her spine is teaching her to trust again, to move without fear, to bend without breaking. She pictures her breath as light, filling every space that once felt heavy. The rain outside continues, steady and soft. She bends once more, fingertips brushing her shins. For the first time, she feels no resistance, only flow. No need to reach the toes today. The journey is enough. Her heartbeat feels calm, her thoughts spacious. She realizes this movement isn't about flexibility at all. It's about awareness, the gentle act of being present. When she finally stands tall again, her breath feels different. Deeper, slower, alive with purpose. She places her hands together, palms resting against her heart. Her spine feels light, her legs steady, her mind quiet. In the reflection of the window, she sees a softer version of herself. Not younger but freer. She whispers to the rain, "This is how healing sounds, quiet and true." And for the first time, she feels the space between movement and peace disappear. The following week arrives with brighter mornings and lighter air. Linda now moves through her days with quiet confidence. Each sunrise feels like an invitation to begin again. The stiffness still visits sometimes, but it no longer stays long. Every morning, she rolls out her small mat beside the kitchen window. Willow curls nearby, half asleep, tail twitching in rhythm with her breath. The ritual has become a part of her, like tea or sunlight. 3 slow knee-to-toe bends, every day, no matter what. The first one wakes her body, the second one balances her breath. The third one feels like coming home. She no longer counts how far she can reach. She counts how calm she feels instead. The practice has grown roots in her routine. On days she skips it, she can feel the difference immediately. Her back grows tight, her energy dulls. But when she moves, even gently, everything flows again. She begins to notice other small changes too. Her posture feels taller, her steps more stable. She can garden longer, without the usual ache in her lower spine. She laughs more freely, stands with more ease. And in these small, consistent moments, she rediscovers trust in her body. One morning, her neighbor Grace stops by to borrow sugar. She watches Linda stretch and asks, "What's your secret?" Linda chuckles and says, "It's no secret, just a bend every morning." Grace smiles skeptically. "That's it." "That's it," Linda replies, "but you have to keep showing up." Consistency, she realizes, is its own kind of magic. It doesn't shout or demand attention. It whispers through repetition, shaping strength quietly. Linda thinks of all the time she gave up too soon. The diets, the exercise programs, the promises she couldn't keep. They all faded because they asked for too much, too fast. But this is gentle. It asks only for presence, not perfection. A few minutes, a few breaths every day. That's how transformation grows slowly, like dawn spreading across the sky. She bends again, feeling her muscles respond like old friends. Her breath moves deeper, her balance steadier. The body loves routine, she thinks. It blooms under rhythm, just like the garden outside her window. She finishes her practice and stands quietly. Her hands rest on her thighs, her heart beating in soft gratitude. The morning light spills across the floor, golden and warm. She whispers to herself, "I'm not chasing youth, I'm nurturing peace." She understands now that progress isn't measured by distance. It's measured by devotion, by how often you return. Every bend is a promise to herself, to care, to listen, to move with kindness. And in that quiet repetition, Linda realizes something profound. Health isn't found in the grand gestures. It lives in the gentle, faithful moments we choose every day. One breath, one bend, one beautiful, steady morning at a time. The days roll by softly, like pages turning in a quiet book. Linda's mornings have become sacred, a slow ritual of movement and breath. But lately, something new begins to happen when she bends. It's not just her body stretching anymore. It's her mind unfolding too. Each motion seems to open a space inside her where calmness lies. She notices how her thoughts slow down when her knees soften, how her worries seem lighter when her fingertips reach toward the floor. It's as if every exhale releases more than tension. It releases old norms. She begins to understand what Henry meant by mind-body connection. It's not a mystery, it's a conversation. Every muscle listens, every breath responds. Her body doesn't just move, it speaks. And for the first time, she's learning to listen. She remembers how she used to rush through her mornings. Coffee, messages, chores, everything stacked on top of everything. Now she begins her day with silence. Just her mat, her breath, and the sound of life waking up. Sometimes she plays soft music. Sometimes she lets the birds sing for her. Either way, she feels something settle inside, something she hasn't felt in years. Peace maybe, or presence, or both. One morning as she bends, she suddenly feels tears in her eyes. Not from pain, but from a quiet realization. She's been carrying her body like a burden for too long. Always fixing, judging, comparing. Now with every bend, she's learning forgiveness for herself, for time. Her body is not failing her. It's been waiting for her attention. She stands up slowly, hands pressed together over her heart. The beat feels strong, steady, alive. She smiles, eyes closed, whispering a thank you to the body that never stopped trying. That moment becomes her favorite part of the practice. Not the movement, but the stillness that follows. The pause where body and mind finally agree to rest. Linda starts noticing the same peace in other parts of her day. When she walks, she feels her spine lengthen naturally. When she cooks, she moves with awareness, breathing with each motion. Even conversations feel lighter, as if the calm has followed her everywhere. She starts telling Grace and her friends about it. Not just the stretch, but the quiet joy it brings. "It's not just my back," she tells them. "It's my spirit that's flexible again." They laugh, but they see the truth in her eyes. There's a glow that doesn't come from makeup or sunlight. It comes from harmony, from living in tune with herself. The knee-to-toe bend has become more than exercise. It's a small daily reminder that movement is meditation. That stillness can be found through motion, not apart from it. As she finishes her morning stretch one quiet Saturday, she stands taller than ever. And in the space between breaths, she realizes something simple and profound. Peace doesn't arrive when the body is still. It begins the moment the heart learns to move with grace. The morning sky is silver, with soft clouds drifting above the trees. Linda stands by the window, hands wrapped around a warm cup of tea. The world outside is quiet, and so is she. It has been 3 months since she began her simple practice. 3 months of small bends, slow breaths, and patient mornings. What started as an experiment has become a way of living. Her body feels lighter now, her steps steadier, her spine more alive. But it's not just the movement that has changed her, it's the meaning. She realizes now that every bend has taught her something about herself. patience, compassion, trust, the kind of lessons you can't learn from words, only from motion. As she bends forward today, the movement feels effortless. Her fingers brush her toes for the first time, but she doesn't celebrate. She just smiles, quiet and content, because the goal was never the touch. It was the journey that brought her here. She rises slowly, feeling her back unfold like morning light. Each vertebra carries the memory of practice and presence. Her breath flows easily, deep and steady like the ocean. She feels strong, not in muscle but in awareness. This small ritual has rewoven her relationship with time. She doesn't rush through her days anymore. She lets them unfold like her spine, one breath at a time. Even her reflection looks different now. Not younger but brighter, a calm kind of glow. Grace visits again one morning and watches her move. "You make it look like a dance," Grace says softly. Linda laughs. "Maybe it is just a very slow one." They both smile, and for a moment, silence feels full of warmth. The room seems to hum with something gentle and alive. It's the sound of peace being practiced, not preached. Later that day, Linda walks to the park near her home. The trees sway, the grass bends with the wind, nature moving like she does. She finds a bench, closes her eyes, and feels her breath match the rhythm of the earth. The body and the world, she thinks, are not separate. They bend and breathe together, sharing the same quiet wisdom. She thinks of all the people who wake each day feeling heavy and stiff. She wishes they knew how small a step it takes to begin again. Just a bend, just a breath, just a moment of kindness toward yourself. She whispers a silent prayer of gratitude for her knees, her spine, her still curious heart. The wind brushes her face as if it's answering back. When she stands, her body feels like part of the breeze itself. No stiffness, no rush, no fight, only flow. She walks home with light steps, her rhythm steady and calm. And as she moves, she realizes something quietly beautiful. Health isn't the absence of age or pain. It's the presence of connection between breath, body, and soul. And with every gentle knee-to-toe bend, she keeps that connection alive. The evening light settles gently across Linda's living room. The day has been quiet, soft, and full of breath. She stands once more, feet grounded, body steady. Her hands rest on her heart as she takes one final slow inhale. The air feels warm, familiar, kind. She bends forward slightly, the motion now effortless and calm. Her spine moves like water, smooth and free. Each breath feels like a thank you whispered from within. She rises, smiling, eyes closed, feeling her body hum with peace. This simple movement has become more than exercise. It is her daily prayer, her reminder to stay gentle with herself, to move, to listen, to live with softness and strength. The clock ticks quietly, marking another graceful moment. Outside, the sky glows in shades of fat and gold. Linda whispers, "Thank you, not to anyone but to everything." To her body for learning, to time for teaching, to life for still unfolding. She smiles, standing tall, steady, alive. And as the light fades, one truth remains clear. Peace doesn't arrive from stillness. It blossoms through every gentle bend we choose to make.